Hello and welcome to a special episode of Insert Coin. I'm Tim.
And I'm Tim.
No, you're not. You're Chris.
Oh well, almost.
Well, one of us is certainly Tim. I think it's me.
Well.
And today we are playing Final Fantasy VII, and we're doing the section of the Gold Saucer where you go out on a date. And looks like we've ended up with Ares Tifa.
How dangerous is this room?
It's like a hotel. It looks like some sort of dungeon.
Yeah, but there's like a mace on the floor.
It's the ghost hotel, isn't it? It's just kind of like a...
You know, it's supposed to be like themed and stuff, but
Yeah.
there's a difference between themed and actual danger.
Well, we don't know that mace on the floor isn't made of sponge.
Oh,
Could
that's
be a
true.
spongy mace. It made to be all fake.
And that's bungee ball and chain.
Why does that get a room with 3 beds at the Gold Saucer?
Yeah, that's true.
So, at this point in the game, depending on who you've been nicest to, out of Tifa and Ares, they'll come and get you and you go on the date. There are ways, I believe, of going out with Yuffie instead, or in fact going out with Barrett.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's ways that, like, none of it, if you're just horrible to everyone and are really nice to Barrett, eventually, like when it gets to the date night, you go with Barrett instead. It's kind of like they're just hanging out, I suppose.
Oh, I was gonna
I've
say, you
never
don't go
bothered
through,
doing
like,
it.
the love tunnel.
No, it's really hard to do. I think you have to do loads of very specific things, but I've never bothered doing it. So normally I'm just nice to both Tifa and Ares, and then it's random which one you get. Or like it's been random each time. But there's loads of little bits, like you know the bit when you're in the sewer, if you whoever you talk to first, it's like whether you buy the flower at the beginning, whether you give the flower to Marlene or give the flower to Tifa. Every time you interact with them, it like sort of the game remembers which ones you're being nice to, and I suppose it's maybe like a point system. And whichever of the 2 girls has the most points towards liking you is the one that you go out with.
Oh, okay.
I think it makes more sense in the terms of the game for it to be Ares, or in our case Tifa, because we've swapped the names over.
Yes.
Ah yes, the play that you put on. I think you can make this section really funny if you just deliberately mess it up. But I think I want it to go nicely. You know? I was like, I'll do it how the game's intended it to go.
You must be the legendary hero Alfred. Hey, it's your line. I don't know my lines.
We didn't have no time to rehearse. We've literally just been dragged on stage.
I wanted to come watch the show. Ahem. Oh, you must be a legendary hero Alfred. Sure. I know my soul. Please save Princess Rosa.
Isn't it weird we get games like this sometimes where the main character never talks? Like in this, like Zack talks, but in things like Zelda, Link never says anything.
Yeah.
Like, someone's like, "What's that you say? You're looking for the secret temple? I'll help you." It's like he never actually says anything. Oh, and you go on to say you're looking for this weapon. I happen to have one for sale.
I suppose it's the same in Sonic or Mario.
Yeah, but in that you're just like running around doing platforms. It's not like an adventure game. You're actually talking to characters, so the characters react to you as if you're talking, but you never hear what they say. I think it was in the same in Dark Cloud, that game I told you about before, where you collect all the bits for the town, you remake the town. Oh, who usually talks to the Knight of the Wizard? We're into our magic.
Foreman. What do you wish to know?
The princess in this game is like quite pervy in places, isn't it? Really. The whole bit of the War Market is just weird.
Why did you have to bring that up?
Let's never speak of it again. Weirdness of the War
Produced.
Because if you had actually like gone to see the show, you'd be like, what the hell is this crap? Why is this guy just like terrible at acting?
Yeah. He actually flew in.
So the Evil Dragon King is too long a name, they had to do it as an acronym.
EDK.
Yo, EDK, what's up?
Well, they didn't call him by his actual name, Valvados.
Alvados, oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
I know, here comes Alfred, the guy that's just up there. What's going to happen? Kiss the princess, kiss the king,
Kiss the
evil dragon. No, let's kiss the princess. Let's do it nicely.
Zack. Oh, I mean Alfred.
Oh, this is so lame. Then I'll get to spin off. Let's all return and celebrate.
Yeah, spin-off is the dragon foot comes back and haunts everyone.
Oh yeah, the dragon's still there in the rafters. How did they know how to do that?
I didn't know we could spin.
Okay. That's a pretty terrible play if the people got like paid to see it.
Mm.
I know this is
I
special
guess
night, isn't it? It says all the rides and attractions are free.
Ah.
Well, hang on a minute, you paid to get in.
Yeah.
So you pay a lot to get in, and then once you're in, the rides are normally cost stuff.
That's every theme park known to man.
You don't pay to like go on the rides or go see shows and stuff, do you?
Some are like tokens, like you pay to get in,
And then,
rides are tokens.
Well, normally they're cheap to get into, aren't they?
Mm.
Oh, so I went to a theme park once with tokens, and I didn't realise that there's a band you could buy, which is the equivalent of buying like 8 tokens, but then like, you could just go on everything all day. By the
Oh.
time we realised that was available to buy, we'd already bought a few tokens. So we ended up just buying the band because we were there all day.
Mm.
And we just gave away our tokens to people we met in the queue. So we're kind of like, do you want these? Because we're not going to use them now.
Yeah.
So this bit you can get on the...
Wow,
guess
how
like the
nice.
monorail.
Do you reckon it's going this fast?
I don't know, really. It doesn't appear to be when you're seeing the shot from inside. Yeah, that's going really slowly. Yeah.
Zach seems like really unimpressed.
Well, I think like you can control him with the controls at this point. But we're pressing every button to see what the least unimpressed pose we can get him in is. So he just sat there with his arms folded. Oh, there's Chocolate Racers. That's pretty cool use of the chocobos in this, is the races.
Yeah, I really like the races as a mini game. I think I almost prefer that over the actual mini games and stuff, like the bike.
Yeah, and the bike one's really good though, and the snowboarding. But like, I can't really be bothered to do them in the arcade later. So you do it as part of the game, but then in the arcade you don't really get a lot for doing it. You get like minimal GP, don't you? And it's like it's easy to build up GP at the Chocobo races.
Yeah.
Much quicker to build up at the Chocobo races, definitely.
I mean, with the races as well, you actually get stuff for winning.
Yeah.
Whereas once you play it first through the story to unlock it later in the Gold Saucer, I'm just like, that's as much as I wanted to play of that game.
So like in some of the other Final Fantasies, there's not really as many mini games like that.
No.
You haven't played 8 or 9, have you either? Because in those you get a card game.
Oh really?
Yeah. If you talk to people with Square rather than X, you challenge them to a card game.
Oh.
And different people around the world play the card game, and some do, some don't. And you just talk to people with Square, and they say, "Oh, do you want to play a game?" And then you end up doing this little card game thing. And all the creatures on the cards are like the different monsters in the game, and they have different like number values around the outside of the cards. And basically, when you put the card down, if the number adjacent to it is high or low, it like flips the card over to your colour. And the idea is whoever has the most of your colour wins one card from the other player. If the entire board is your colour, you take all of their cards.
Oh damn.
And then there's some like unique and rare cards. Like you can get cards that are based on the actual characters in the game and like summons and stuff. But if you lose them, you have to keep challenging the same person again to try and win them back because they're completely gone. I can remember once me and Sam playing, and at one point Sam was on a massive roll with the card game, and then I came back and had a go on the card game and lost like one of the like key item cards. And at that point he'd already played the game like loads and won loads and loads of cards. Like no, we have to try and get it back. And then we tried to get it back and lost another one. And then lost, so it was on a massive winning streak. And then we went on a massive losing streak. We're like, no, we're just going to reset the game now because we've lost like loads of our good cards. So he spent ages like winning loads of decent cards, and we had to reset it all. Lame. So my main suggestion with that would be like when you're on a roll, just stop and save it.
Yeah, we'll save after everyone just to make sure.
Yeah, if you're lucky enough to be stood by a save point, mind.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, what's this twat bag up to?
What the fuck are you doing?
Fucking hate this guy.
Why aren't you in bed?
I don't even understand what it is. Like, I understand that it's like a remote controlled thing, but then what's the cat?
Isn't the cat part
Is
of
the
it?
cat part of it? Is the cat also like animatronic? I don't know what you are, Eve. I don't know what you are. Okay, he'd run off with the keystone. He's
What a bitch.
proper shitlord. Oh, he's going to the speed spinner.
What the hell? Go back here.
Oh, it's Johnny.
Hi, Johnny.
Hey, Johnny. Oh, where could he be? Could he be hiding behind the chocobo?
Get the hell out of the way. Slap.
Oh. Let's go to the Airship GP. Shut up. Okay, it's Chocobo Square. here, you son of a bitch.
I'd laugh if one of the bits is just you racing around one of the Chocobo race tracks.
Hey? Oh, you mean chase after him?
Yeah, like, and he'll go into like the staff and then actually get onto the track and start running around. Camera guy, get out the way. Oh, sorry, helicopter.
The keystone. Ah, he's giving it to Seng.
What? What? You've got some explaining to do.
Spy high by Shinra. Yeah. Well, we didn't exactly say we trusted the leader. He said, I'm going to follow you to find out what your fortune means.
Hmm.
What?
That's not guts. Yes, please.
Yeah, this body's just a toy.
So?
Probably be an expensive toy, though. Yeah, who could it possibly be from Shinra? Whoa, I can't tell you my name. Your name's Reeve? Yeah, so it's Reeve, essentially.
Ah.
Because he's Reeve. We've renamed him to be Reeve. Thus ruining the secret of this part of the game. I think it's kind of obvious, though, I think when I first played through it. Because Reeve's like the only like half-decent guy at Shinra. It's not going to be Palmer, is it? Or Scarlet or Heidegger.
Maybe Palmer. I'm controlling this from my hospital bed.
I've got hit by that truck.
Yeah, just kind of.
He's throwing away the keystone, and he wants to.
What?
Stay with us as if he's part of the team.
Why don't you listen to this?
He's got Marlene kept captured.
Ah, double bastard!
Yeah. So not only is he a shit character with no 4th level limit break, he's also a dick. So there's no reason to ever have him in your party.
Massive dick.
In fact, I don't think there's any section of the games where you have to have him, is there? Apart from when you first meet him.
The end of the.
I think when you first meet him, he joins whoever Zach's with at the time, because you go around with one person, don't you, around the theme park? I think we had like Tifa with us, and then you go to the Coral Prison, and then as soon as you meet up with the rest of the party, then you can change it up again.
I mean, you're forced to use him at
right at the end.
Right at the end.
You don't think you have to do that though, because you can choose just to go in with one party. I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because I've done it before. I've gone in with one party. It's only optional to go in multiple people. I might not be right on that, actually. It might be that the game decides based on your level how many people go into battle.
Hmm.
Let's see if there's anything in the minibar. Yeah, an elixir.
Oh, so that's pretty cool. Oh, he wants a hug.
They probably charge a lot for that stuff. So who else is staying in this room? They've got a 3-bedroom room. Don't go wasting all of our gil. Oh no, didn't Reeve say that he knew people at the Gold Saucer and he could get us a free room?
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
So Reeve said he will meet us at the. Oh, is that down there now?
Oh yeah, the others don't know. The Temple of the Ancients. East towards the sea.
What do you mean, shall we get going? You gave. And you've still got Marlene.
Well, we don't want to let Dine know that, he'll get upset.
So we wanted to kill this fuck anyway.
Oh, we don't want to go with him. No. Then, see you later. Yeah, you dick. We're not going to go with you. We won't go with you. Back to the station. Okay.
Who do you reckon's in charge of health and safety in this place?
All the tubes and stuff.
Yeah.
Flumes to get everywhere. Well, it's Dio is like the eccentric billionaire.
You know, it was like a dead drop. You just go straight down.
If you think about it, it's a very small theme park, really, isn't it?
What? No, it's huge.
I suppose for the scale of Final Fantasy VII, it's huge. It was a real theme
The
park.
video when we went round the monorail, it's massive.
You think about how much there's an arcade, a theatre which is closed most of the time, Like another like one roller coaster, then like the gambling area for the Chocobos, then the hotel and station. That's it. Or the Battle Square. So there's a few attractions, but not really compared to an actual theme park. An actual theme park will have loads of rides.
Yeah, true. Then again, they might not have hotels and stuff on site.
Most of them do now.
Really?
Yeah. But in terms of Final Fantasy, Gold Source is bigger than most cities.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we're back on the world map, and we need to go to the Temple of the Ancients.
And it has a prison underneath.
That has a prisoner underneath, yes. It does.
And a terrible monster.
Yeah, it's cool like doing the battle arena and stuff. There's similar things in Final Fantasy X. You have to go and capture monsters. There's one of the things you can do is capture. So when you're fighting a monster, one of the best things to do is get a sword with death touch on, a bit like added effect and death on this, and then also put on capture. So it means you hit it has instant death and it captures them. And then if you capture each monster in an area, you get a secret boss is made up of all the monsters in the area.
Oh, that's cool.
And then you also get each type. So you get these things called flans, which are basically like little blobs.
Flan.
And you get like you get like a fire flan, an ice flan, so the different elements. If you capture all of the flans, you get a giant flan, which is like.
Can you capture the giant flan?
No, the giant flan is made for you by the person who captures all the monsters.
Right.
And then if you get all of them, they make another monster, which is made out of all of the made-up monsters that you've created, and it's called like Penance or something, and it's just like ridiculously hard.
Oh, really?
It's like the hardest monster in the whole game. Like that's like the big challenge bit if you choose to do that.
Oh.
But it's a lot of effort to get a hold of it because you have to beat all the other monsters that you make.
What
and then you get like the Dark Aeons as well and stuff. I don't even know. Actually, I never did it. It seemed like a lot of work. Just be like, I beat the monster. It's the equivalent of like fighting weapon in this. It's like you have to be like max level to be able to beat it.
Yeah.
Well, we never got to max level, did we, to beat weapon?
No.
We got pretty high. But
Yeah.
So, I quite like this section of the game here, the Temple of the Ancients. I like the scenery and stuff, like the whole idea of the area is quite, exploring a hidden, forgotten temple. I wonder what happens actually. I don't know what happens if you try and go straight here. Oh, you can't really do anything, can you? Because you don't have the keystone. You need to go to the gold saucer to get the keystone before you come here.
Oh, there's a duty at the top.
Yeah.
Are you dead?
So if you came here earlier in the game before you went to Gold Saucer, you would just
don't think
find
you'd be able to get
you
through.
wouldn't be able to get in because you wouldn't have been able to do the keystone bit. So that's how the game makes you do it in the right order. Black material.
What?
Oh, was that him? What the hell's happening there? What was that meant to be?
Spirit, ghost.
Yeah, but like they all like turn red and shake when they die, don't they? And he like turns white and ascends. See, I think it would have been cool if we'd actually got in a fight with Tseng at this point. So if you think about it, you've just come from the world map, you would have been able to save it and sort out your party, run in, boss fight with Tseng. Because there's no time in the game where you're ever actually fighting. But instead, you get here and he's already like been injured by Sephiroth.
He's inside.
Look for yourself, guy.
Damn.
I'm not going to feel sorry for you.
No.
I've had such bad luck when I kidnapped your friends. I'm still a little bit unclear about which part of the island is the Promised Land. I think it's like the northern crater. It's meant to be the Promised Land, I guess. Because it's basically just meant to be a place where there's lots of Mako energy, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like infinite.
And like the City of the Ancients is pretty close to it, so...
Place it on the altar. Oh, you gave it back now. Can I have Marlene as well? No?
Yeah.
No, you're going to be a dick?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Don't need it.
Yeah, you sit over there. Kick you in the face.
Yeah, has he been like kidnapping you since you were little as well?
Hmm.
I think there's going to be like a bit of like trying to humanise them, a bit, saying, oh, you know, part of them were actually friendly. It's like, no, they weren't. He kidnapped you,
Yeah.
constantly threatened you, and now he's kidnapped Marlene.
I am still alive. God damn it.
All right, Emperor. I am still the Emperor.
Oh.
Did you hear they're actually doing another Dark Crystal film?
No?
Yeah, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, and they're going to be actually using... Oh, it disappeared into the floor. We're going to be using proper animatronics, yeah.
Ooh.
They're going to be using proper animatronics rather than CGI. I think they're probably going to have like CGI backgrounds
Right.
and then like animatronics for the characters.
Hmm.
Because I think like animatronics have kind of lost their place in film a bit with CGI. Because like CGI is so much cheaper to do, and there's so much more you can do with them. Like you can have a CGI model and it can move anywhere on the screen you want it pretty much. There's no it's less restrictive.
Yeah.
So I understand as a film studio why you'd always go for CGI over animatronics. But I think there's something about like a lot of the films I liked from when I was little, growing up, like seeing animatronics in films, things like Labyrinth and Dark Crystal and stuff like that, which have got animatronics in.
I'd say it's a lot more difficult, like an art form.
Yeah. That's the thing. It is like an art form, isn't it? Like if you make an impressive animatronics, like some of the stuff in the Alien films, looks really cool. Whereas like now, if they did like a new Alien film, it's all CGI, isn't it?
Trident.
Trident.
Oh, who's that little old man up there?
That's the little guy. I don't know who he is, but he's like just lives in the Temple of the Ancients. You have to like chase him around.
I've been here for 70 years.
7 years or 70?
70.
70 years. Yeah. What has he been living off of? Where's the food?
Moss.
He's been living off moss.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
I
moss.
can't get through there. That sound brings back memories.
What?
What are you talking about with?
Like bing, bing.
Oh, I'm gonna get, yeah, I don't know. Oh,
Yeah.
received a terrible ether. There's lots of cool items you can get around here. I think we
Chase
did eventually
the
get
old
one. No, what?
What? How's he? What?
It's like some sort of Escher picture, isn't it?
You can't catch me. Although no one ever could.
It's like that bit at the end of Labyrinth as well, isn't it? all the steps. Receive Rocket Punch! I think that's the weapon for
Tifa?
Dime. No, I think it's rather than Dime. It's actually just like a big boxing glove.
Oh.
So rather than having a gun arm, it has a boxing glove and runs up and punches them. Well, each character has a weapon that has really high attack but no materia slots. So if you're doing a challenge of trying to get through the game without using materia, which I've known some people to do, that's the best weapon to have for Dime. Luck Plus. The materia you use if you've put all the materia you want in your character and there's leftover slots and you can't think what to put in it, that's the materia you put in. Luck Plus.
Yeah, we didn't really pay much attention to luck, did we, in this? Is that just how much
Well, I think
money you
like
get at the
later
end?
on in the game, no, it's kind of like probability stuff, like when you're doing like stage settlements and things, I guess. Well, it's things like because we use enemy skills so much, and we've got all of the enemy skills, and then like later on when you get like the mine materia and Knights of the Round and all those sort of things, we didn't really ever use. We never really used the standard magic materia.
No.
So because of that, we had loads of slots available when we went to go pick our characters and stuff, and set our lineup.
Yeah.
So you end up with loads of free slots in your weapons.
Yeah.
God, this is really difficult to get through.
How do we survive that? Oh.
Crushing that spine.
It's like crushing us, but it's not
It's
really
like
doing
really hard to
any
actually get
damage.
through.
Like that didn't really...
We have to kind of like be really brave to run up to it, just go underneath the work. And you gotta run, get underneath that one, work.
Go now, go now.
Get oh, there you go. Because I think we were going all the way around. So we weren't getting there for the first slot, so we could actually go all the way over the top.
What's that purple pool? I thought we had to go there.
Yeah, I think we do. We're gonna have to go back. Gonna have to go back. Oh, that stops the things from rolling anyway. We did it. Oh, I think you do actually take damage then when you get hit by the thing. That's why you said it took a lot out of us. But like in Pokemon, when you have someone poisoned and you're walking around, it goes,
Oh, that's so annoying. You're like, quick, I just need to get a Pokemon Center. Then you get some random battle and some asshole Weedle just kills your entire team.
I suppose actually these kind of games, we've been talking about like comparing things like Final Fantasy and Zelda to games like Skyrim and Fallout and stuff, and like the difference in scale when you actually go to a town. It's like you can go everywhere in the town. You can go in every house and look at every item. Games like this, I think, have survived like another generation of consoles because of handheld games and tablets. Because like Final Fantasy games, like very similar to this, are still coming out on like the handhelds. Like they're redoing like the older ones. Like you can get like a remastered version of 3 and 4 and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think the tablet games are really good. It's like I've got Final Fantasy Dimensions on the tablet. And the style of that is very similar to Final Fantasy V. It's basically the graphics of Final Fantasy V HD. So the characters are really small and cartoony. It's just like one pictures from the monsters with no like animation. But they're not very pixely on a big screen.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of like HD in that sense, but it's like old style artwork. And it's pretty cool because you kind of get the retro feel of playing like Final Fantasy IV or something, but with like modern added up storyline and game dynamic and stuff. And you can do it. It works well on the tablet because you're going through selecting stuff in the menu as well.
Yeah.
So that one's the storyline on that's pretty good as well because you start off with one party that leads up to a point where you're in this temple when the crystal explodes, and then it goes back to the beginning of the game and you follow a different party, and then it ends at the same scene. So they all run to where the crystal explodes, and the crystal explodes, and then like you have half the people from the party 1 and half the people from party 2 make up like a third new party out of like half the 2 teams you had before. And then you get the different crystal shards, and each crystal shard gives you like the job mechanics, like it is in 5. It's a job system. So basically, I don't know if you play the job system before.
A little bit. Isn't it just like professions, pretty much?
Yeah, she say that person is a knight, that person's a thief, that person's a white mage, and they level up in that job role.
Okay.
And then once you've leveled up that job to full, you can then go and change what job you are. Oh dear, here comes Sephiroth. So we're viewing like a portal of what's happened in the past, haven't we? Because Saint's fine there, and this is before he got stabbed.
So Sephiroth came through our thing so we could see it. What?
I don't know. We're looking into the pool at the moment, so we're just seeing what happened in that pool.
Sephiroth? But your soul is so big.
How's Saint going to try and get out of this one?
Go helicopter.
I like Sang and Eleanor like a very, very short, like 2-frame bit of having children. Because like it's implied right at the beginning that they're dead, isn't it? And then I think you see them and they're okay and they're on a helicopter. And then it just go, oh, they're alive. It's like for that much airtime, you might as well have just said they were dead.
Yeah.
It's like people don't really care about them. They you can kill them off. It's fine. So this is kind of Sephiroth revealing his big plan, what he actually wants to do. So he wants to kind of get the live stream to flow into him, and he can have the knowledge of like everything that's ever lived, and become a god. Slicey. Yeah, so he's basically saying will die, go to the live stream, and the live stream will eventually flow into Sephiroth, and everyone will be part of him. Crazy. But as far as evil plans go, it's a pretty cool evil plan.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid evil plan.
As far as evil guys go, I think that's good when you have like a villain like that. He's obviously like quite unhinged, isn't he? Because he finds out he is an experiment, he's not a real person. So he's a bit unhinged because of that. And he's very cut off from people. Like he's got no human side to him, and he's planning on like destroying the world. But he's destroying the world for a reason. He's actually destroying the world so he can become more powerful from it.
Yeah.
Whereas like a lot of things, you get like some sort of evil villain, but then like they don't actually want to destroy the world; they want to rule it. So then they get conflicted. And like you rarely get villains that will actually be willing to destroy the world. So like, what's the point of destroying the world? You live here.
Yeah.
And, and sometimes it's quite hard to find a plot line that allows you to have someone who wants to destroy the world. So they've done quite a good job, I think, of making it.
Yeah.
Just having a bath in a pool of knowledge. Can't get through that, going all the way around. What? Tell you another game that's quite good that's very similar to this is the Breath of Fire series.
Oh, I've never played that.
You ever played those?
Oh wow, I did. Yum, yum,
Hey,
yum.
old man. They totally want to rest, guy. Yeah, the Breath of Fire games were ones where you're like it's really weird because unlike that, you know, like in Final Fantasy VII, it's like a different story every time.
Yeah.
In Breath of Fire, it doesn't seem to be connected. Like each time, it goes to the beginning of this guy's life. Like the main character is the same guy every time, and it starts off when you're a kid, and then like the game normally jumps forward in time, and you're like older and stuff. But like in the next game, you'll be a kid again. It'll be like the beginning of the game. So it's really weird. Like they don't seem to like tie in. I might be wrong with that. If there's any Breath of Fire fans listening, if you can post some comments about how Breath of Fire plan work, like the storyline works. It's a bit weird. But yeah, basically you're a kid who is like either part dragon or is a dragon, and like its battle system is very similar to Final Fantasy VII, like turn-based battle system, and you can turn into a dragon.
Oh.
So rather than like summoning a dragon, you turn into a dragon during the fight, and then you have loads of cool moves and you're really powerful. But it costs quite a lot of magic to be a dragon, so normally you just like save being a dragon for like boss fights and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you get like other characters that join you. It's very good. It was quite hard to do as well, actually. There's like the actual figuring out where to go and how to get out of areas. Part of it was quite difficult.
Okay.
That was quite a fun game.
This is one of the bits where we missed getting the nail on.
The nail
Nail
bat.
through a bat.
Yes.
Isn't it?
If you want to get the nail bat, which is the equivalent of the rocket punch we mentioned earlier, it's the best weapon for Zack. If you don't want to have any materia, you have to let the thing knock you off. So the reason we never got it is because we never got knocked off the clock. If you get knocked off the clock by the second hand, you fall down and there's another room with a chest in, and you have to go back up to the top. Oh, Ribbon's very good. Ribbon makes you immune to everything.
I think that's really good.
Definitely get the Ribbon.
If you can get ribbon on everyone, that's like the best possible
Yeah.
thing you can have on them.
I think the best way to get Ribbon on everyone is to fight the Tomburies in the final quota, and then kill them with Morph. So what we did, we actually wrote down on paper what their life HP was, didn't we? And then every time, because they're immune to sense, so every time we hit them, we worked out how much roughly that was, until we thought, oh, okay, they're down to like their last 1,000 now.
Yeah, so the next hit will kill them.
Yeah, so then start using Morph, and then if you kill him with Morph, he turns into a Ribbon, and then you can have Ribbon for your whole party.
Yeah.
And status elements will be a thing of the past.
Tomburies are pretty scary. I found Tombury scary in this.
Yeah, because they do like knife, which is like instant death.
Yeah, just death to anyone. But they're like just creeping forwards. It's like, oh, I've got my knife now. You cannot stop me. I've got my knife. One of you will die.
The thing is, they don't look very like menacing at all. Because they're like little turtle things in like a little robe and
a
a
mole
little
in a
candle.
robe.
But they're actually really devastating. Like in a lot of the other games as well. I think in one of the Final Fantasies you can get the Tombury King as a summon.
Really?
Yeah, I think in Final Fantasy VIII you can get a Tombury.
Why he's got like knives for fingers though? Oh.
Why would it? Why?
Because every Tombury has a knife.
Why would that mean that their leader had knives for fingers?
Because he's king.
Okay. Seems like a jump there.
What? How's that a jump?
Oh, because my minions have knives, I'll have knife hands.
No, he'll start off with knife hands, and then they'll all worship him because he's got knife hands, and they'll carry around a knife themselves.
Okay.
So we're like part of the Tomburys.
Okay.
So they've got a knife.
Okay.
And then there's the Tombury King just like sat on a throne with his knife fingers, just
Knife
eating,
fingers. Okay.
cutting cheese and
Cutting cheese.
eating marshmallows.
Yeah, marshmallow. Okay. So yeah, he'd be restricted to what he could eat, really. Okay.
I'm assuming they'd feed him, but I mean, it'd be whatever they could fit on a life, I guess. Shut up, Chris.
So this bit we're trying to capture this guy. I don't think we bothered working this out. We just ran to different doors randomly until we finally got him. We're like, this is random.
We started to, and then we're just like, oh.
It's really weird. It doesn't work how you think it's going to work sometimes. But yeah, the idea is he comes out of one room and he's about to go in the one that you come out of. And if you come out of it, so you jump down. And then we're in that one.
And then go back in.
You can't
Go
just
back in.
follow, you can't just follow him. You have to come out of the one that he's going into. So if he's gone in that one, he's going to come out there. He's then going to drop down. Which one's he going to go to? He does have a pattern. Goes in there, and we come out there. Bloody hell.
Go back in that one.
I think if you just go back in the one you came out of over and over again, you eventually will go into it. Well, it won't be that one because that's one he's gone into. let's get into. Let's jump down. The best thing to do, I would say, is keep track of when he goes into a certain door where he comes out, and then remember that for the next time he goes through that door, and then just go into the one he came out of. Yeah, so he came out of that.
So he's going to come out of this one next.
Is he? Okay, let's go back.
Yeah, because he went in the same one we did.
Yeah. There you go. Door unlocked. Yay!
Yeah.
I think you understood that better than I did.
Well, I mean, we went in that one,
Yeah.
and then he went in that one. Then we came out here. So he
Okay,
must
so
have come
yeah,
out
so
here.
we just go straight back in again and then catch him, yeah. I see. Well, that annoying bit's over, and you can save and rest, and then go into the ominous room.
Ominous room.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It's like Egyptians.
Well, it's the Cetra, isn't it?
Ah.
The ancients.
Well, I mean, they got hieroglyphs on the wall.
Uh-oh. He's here.
What? White Sephiroth?
Shimmery after image Sephiroth. He's got some sort of power equipped. Come to die.
I am Epilepsy Roth.
Splendid. I think he's definitely one of my favourite villains, Sephiroth. He's an awesome villain.
I wouldn't say he's my favourite, but I'm trying to think of
Who's
who
your
it is.
favourite game villain then? Specifically in a game. And you can't like say like Darth Vader because Darth Vader is in games. Has to be something that's from a game, not a game that's been made out of something else. Original game character, not boss guy. Thinking about like Bowser and like Dr. Robotnik are kind of like from another, you know, quite retro generation of games. They're kind of like quite two-dimensional characters, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like Princess Captured by Dragon scenario for Mario, and Dr. Robot is just like the guy who makes robots and pollutes.
He's like
the
Dr.
environment.
Wily in a sense from Mega Man. I'd say the Flood from Halo is my favourite enemy.
Yes, that's a very good answer. Actually, I really like the Flood.
Because technically they're not an enemy; they're just doing what they were born,
Yeah, they're
like,
just
bred
like
to do.
Yeah,
So they don't really have any.
it's in
Well-
their nature just to consume all life around,
Yeah.
isn't it? Really.
Well, apart from the
doing
Grave
it
Mine, they
out
don't really have a sentience to
Yeah,
them.
which kind of makes them worse, isn't it? I think that's kind of what's cool about zombies in a way, because like, everything that has zombies in it, like zombies will it's just total war. All zombies will attack. They're not going to stop. It's every like man, woman, and child. Even it's like little toddlers and stuff. Once they're zombies, they're attacking. Everything is just constantly like attacking you. And for every person you lose, they gain people as well if they turn. And it's just like it's just that mindless mass of like enemies coming at you. A bit like, you know, the Flood will just consume. Like zombies just do nothing but consume. So there's not like you can't. There's no talking them around or tricking them, or you know. Well, I suppose you can trick them in a sense because they're stupid. But you can't like. You wouldn't be able to like sort of talk them down if they're attacking you or anything like that, or convince them not to fight. Because they're zombies. They're just going to attack you, aren't they? Same with the Flood. So yeah, pretty good villains.
I was thinking about the what they called the Squiddy Covenant dudes, the old ones who were like governing all of the Covenant. I've forgotten their names. The Prophets.
Yeah, I think I know the ones you mean though. Yeah.
I was going to say them, but yeah, you can kill them pretty easily.
Yeah. It's kind of, I was thinking like some other games are good, like things like Gears of War, like the enemies being the what are they actually called? They're called grubs, aren't they? They're not really called grubs. I'm trying to remember what they're called now.
Oh damn! No, you blanked me.
Something with L, isn't it?
Lambent?
No, the Lambent's the newer ones.
Oh, Lambent's the
like the
Locust.
Locust,
That's
there you
the
go. Yeah,
one.
they call them locusts. Yeah, the thing is, the locust is like an army, isn't it? I suppose you do have like the queen, but she's like not really. You face her like once right at the end, don't you? And then she's not that hard. So that's the thing with like bosses like that. Like with this, it's kind of like when you first encounter Sephiroth, there's no way you could beat him and then he would just turn up and be like, oh, I really hope you don't have to face him, and then you don't actually have to fight him in game.
Yeah.
He'll go off again. So he'll have like these different appearances, but then you're only actually fighting at the end. Whereas like in Gears, you kind of actually did like the voiceover at the end of the game, didn't you? When you came back. And like with Assassin's Creed, it's just the Templars are quite cool as like an idea for a villain, but there's no like big characters which are like they're the main villain, and you're after them because they're like individual targets a lot of the time.
Well, there's the sciencey dude you meet from the first game, and he's still alive by the...
Yeah. I suppose in the third game
one.
it's Connor's dad, isn't it? He's like, and you get to play as him at the beginning. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that. That's pretty good. So now Zack's wigging out. Sephiroth revealed his master plan.
I'm Zack. How should I?
Fum, 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 fum. Going through all the standard poses. The scratchy head pose, the casual weight pose, the folded arm pose,
Shrug.
the shrug pose.
Remember my way.
What are you talking about, dude? He's going completely crazy.
Yes, with you.
There's nothing, don't worry about it.
What?
Yeah, you just went batshit crazy for us, man. Yeah, go in high legs and crush your arms and try and like move them.
Oh, good, because we missed. We were talking about our favourite villains.
So he, basically, the plan is he's going to summon Meteor. The Meteor is going to come to Earth and just like cause a big enough wound to get the planet to use the life stream to heal itself. But Sephiroth's going to be stood in the centre of where the wound occurs, so he can absorb all the life stream force instead of the planet. So a bit like the example Bugenhagen showed us at Cosmo Canyon. Instead of like the life force moving around the planet, it's all going to move into Sephiroth, and he's going to have all the wisdom and knowledge of all of the ancients and all the people since. And then he'll be able to travel the universe as a god.
How?
He'll be godlike then.
Well, how would he travel the universe?
I don't know, flying around.
Oh.
He seems to be flying around now, doesn't he?
Oh. Nom. Nom. Nom.
Oh, shiny! Bahamut!
Yeah.
Awesome summon. Very awesome summon. So that's after defeating the Red Dragon boss. I don't know, is the Red Dragon left there by Sephiroth, or is he a defense mechanism of the temple itself?
Yeah.
Who knows? Cool boss though.
Very. There's something written on it. But it's flown, I can't. But
Black materia.
No.
Shake it, take it or leave it. Shake it, baby.
Shake it. Shake it.
Take
Aww.
it.
What happens if you shake it?
Oh, we can't take it. It's just a hologram. Wait a minute, I'll ask. Oh yeah, just ask. Can we have it, please? It's quite funny. Have you ever been to the Terror Tomb at Chessington?
No.
No? It's kind of like a haunted house type, like a ghost train. It's all done like in the style of an Egyptian temple, and there's a guy going in there to try and find like this special gem. And like, everything you go around, like things like snakes jump out at you, and there's like you know like the coffin things with the spikes.
Yeah.
And he's a character that like keeps appearing throughout it, and then I think he ends up getting killed in the temple. But then he comes back and he's like a zombie, and he's holding the crystal, like I got my crystal, and then he's gonna go out. It's kind of like it's for kids, so it's not really that scary, but it's quite one of those rides you end up going on anyway while you're there. And right at the end, there's this like hologram of the crystal, and it says like, "Oh, try and take the crystal if you dare." And you put your hand in to grab it, and you can't grab it because it's not really there. It's just like a little like mirrors and stuff and lights. But when you put your hand in there, it must have like a motion sensor, and it sprays like bursts of air. So you put it in there and you go, and you're like, ah, because it just like makes you jump because you didn't expect it. That's quite funny. That floating temple reminds me of that. Like, go ahead, try and take the crystal. Years ago, actually, before it was the Terror Tomb, it was like the whole area was like a sci-fi themed place. I think there's like a sci-fi themed one where there was like a robot who was like your tour guide, and all of the different scenes you went round, and all the bits were all like you're on like a ship that's being asteroid or like going down in space. And
Okay.
they go try and get off the ship before the ship crashes or something. I can't remember. This
Oh.
was years ago when I went. And they changed the whole area to get like Ramesses' Revenge and stuff. And they made it all Egyptian themed. But originally it was like a space themed one. They must have used the original track and the original, like all the scenes and just changed it all. So you know you've been on the Saw ride at Thorpe Park?
Yes.
It's a bit like the very beginning of the Saw ride where the jigsaw little thing all comes up to a little bike and talks to you. It's a bit like that, but that's pretty much the whole ride. Like you go around the corner and then there's like another little scene, and then you go around the corner, but then something jumps out at you, and then it shows like another scene. It's like that really, 'cause it's like a little ghost train type thing. So
No, I don't want to trust you.
well, we kind of need to get through to the next part of the game. So
I don't care. Reeve can
we
die.
don't trust him, but okay. So he's waiting at the exit.
If we solve the puzzle, the Temple of the Ancients will shrink down to hand size
Yes.
and become the Black Materia.
Yes. And crush the little old man who's been helping us.
Yeah. Yeah, what the heck? Hey, little old man.
Should we warn him?
No.
Maybe we should warn him that he's going to get crushed. He might want to leave. Nym, nym. We'll just get him to restore our health. Try just restore our health. But you might want to leave before we crush you inside the temple.
So do you reckon every piece of materia is just a temple but shrunk down?
No. Do you remember we saw how materia was formed? Because the flashback from 5 years ago, you see like a little like Mako life force sort of
Dripping down.
fountain, and then if it's left alone for a certain amount of time, it solidifies, becomes materia. Uh-oh. It's Larry. It seems to be locked.
And it's warm.
Oh no.
Where's the door warm?
No. This is not good.
Oh, what the
The Demon Gate. This is actually one of the hardest bosses I found. I really struggled with him when I first played the game. I think when we played this time, we kind of did a bit better. You really need like Ares' healing magic and stuff to get you through.
Jeez, that guy's horrible.
If you want to check out the boss battle, check out the boss battle playthroughs, and you'll see us fight the Demon Gate.
How he defeated him.
I think we used the Great Gospel to defeat him.
With cunning.
Okay. He seems pretty happy that someone's about to die. Well, I suppose he's not going to die, is he? He's his animatronic puppet thing.
So he came through like the Demon Gate's ass.
The thing is, if they have the technology to go around with animatronic characters that can go around fighting monsters and stuff, why aren't like loads of the Shinra soldiers just like in a room somewhere controlling monsters? Why do they send all their men out to die? I suppose it's going to be too expensive. That's the same argument that always comes up in like Marvel comics when you have the Avengers. Like, oh, can we just make Iron Man suits for all of us? And it's like, no, it costs like billions of dollars per suit. Well, he has loads of them.
Yeah, but you have loads.
Yeah, but
There's even one for the Hulk.
Oh, I imagine the Hulk in an Iron Man suit.
Well, there's the Hulk Buster, isn't there?
There's the Hulk Buster like to fight the Hulk.
Yeah.
Then imagine the Hulk in an Iron Man suit.
How? I don't think he wouldn't be able to control it, surely.
No, because he'd just be mad. You wouldn't be able to get the Hulk calm enough to put it on.
No.
He would have to get in it as Bruce Banner, but then he'd be like really swamped in it.
He'll break away and be like, he'll have little Iron Man shots as the Hulk.
But maybe if they made a big enough Iron Man suit that Bruce Banner got in, and then they pissed him off and he got into that turned into the Hulk while still inside the suit, and the suit was wrong.
Yeah, like he put him in, but really it's just a giant suit, but like a little guy inside, and he grew into it. Yeah, but when the Hulk gets madder, he gets bigger.
I think when the Hulk gets madder, he gets stronger.
In
Bigger.
the first two, was it? I know, definitely the first film.
Yeah,
The Hulk, he gets bigger when he gets angrier.
Okay.
But I think they changed that to just make it, he just gets
Stronger.
Yeah.
Well, they always say like the madder he is, the stronger he is.
Hmm.
He gets pretty strong, pretty mad.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd
It's
be
just
able
like Planet
to
Hulk.
control it.
Planet Hulk was awesome. I really like Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I don't think there's a need for him to
I
have.
think another thing I've always wanted to see is, you know, that Spider-Man has the story arc where he turns into the Man Spider, and he actually turns into a
yeah,
spider.
yeah.
That mixed with Venom. So if the Venom symbiote got onto Peter Parker when he was a Man Spider,
Oh damn.
imagine that. That would just be like horrendous. That's kind of like my ideal what if for a Spider-Man story. He is both Venom and Man Spider. Because the Venom symbiote would have the complete control of it essentially, so he could still probably still talk and stuff, but as directly as Venom. pretty Larry. I don't know why he's so emotional at this point in the game, because he's not going to die. He's just going to break his expensive toy that he probably didn't even pay for himself. It's probably paid for by Shinra.
Yeah.
Who screwed us over.
He's getting emotional that he can't then live out his TV show that he's watching.
I don't know. It's like, please don't forget me after I'm gone, even though I'll come back and I'll be fine. Please. It's so emotional to me.
So he's staying inside the temple?
Yes, because the idea is every time you solve a bit of the puzzle, the temple shrinks down, and then eventually you'll be trapped inside and it'll crush you, and it'll become black materia. So you have to make the ultimate sacrifice.
Okay, so he's doing it so that we get the black materia.
Yes.
Because he's technically the only one who can.
Yeah, I mean, Sephiroth would just get one of his claims to do it, I imagine. One of those guys in the black capes would just do it for him.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that earlier. He's got millions of lackeys that can do it.
Yeah, he's got millions. Millions of minions. Which I'm guessing, I think that's what like Kadaja's gang is in the film. You know, there's like 3 of them, isn't there? And they all kind of look like young Sephiroths.
Yeah.
And with different haircuts. Yeah, they're essentially guys in black capes that didn't appear till later on, I guess. They're off doing something else in this game. Okay. This must be it.
So do you reckon the whole thing shrinks, or does it all collapse on top of itself, making a really dense piece of matter? Because if it shrinks, then he would shrink inside it.
Yeah, I guess so.
And he'd just be a really tiny...
No, I mean, I think it would like say, it will collapse down. So
okay.
Collapse down. So eventually it'll be like the size of a room, and he'll be in it, and then the final step will be the material.
That'd be ridiculously heavy.
Yeah.
Just think like all that matter just condensing down to just one solid ball that you could pick up.
I guess so.
It's like taking this giant complex and putting it down into that.
Yeah.
How heavy that would be. You wouldn't be able to lift it at all.
No. But it's a game, it doesn't have to make complete sense. It's a game answer, is probably going to have to apply here. In terms of like scale, you were saying it's quite funny. You know how like Spider-Man has the proportional strength of a spider? He's actually must be ridiculously strong. Like when he punches like criminals and stuff, it's surprising he doesn't punch their heads off.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Because like Ant-Man is the opposite. He shrinks down to the size of an ant, but he can still like has the same strength as if he was normal size.
Yeah.
It's like picking things up. Like he can pick up things as if they're like really small, but he can lift them up above his head and stuff. And there's a bit in the Irredeemable Ant-Man, and he punches the guy in the neck. But before he's like when he's first started using powers, and like punches a hole in his neck, and he starts like spurting out blood from his neck. It's like, oh damn! It's like prepare to have an ant-sized, a man-sized punch from an ant-sized man, and punches him in the neck, and his neck just goes starts spraying blood. So yeah, it reminded me of that when you said about something that small, but actually the weight of the building.
Someone, I think it was like a scientific YouTube channel, actually figured out what if Superman punched you, how would that actually affect you? Yeah, you would get destroyed, like atomized, pretty much, and like the force of the punch, like going out like super speed, would just make a giant shockwave behind you as well.
Ooh. And that's actually a scientist who's worked that out based on how strong he is.
Yeah, based on like the abilities and stuff like that of Superman, like how fast he could go around the planet would be like his speed and stuff like that. So if you punch someone like that, they would just get completely atomized.
Yes. It's weird how they do like powers and stuff and things like that. It's like in Dragon Ball Z, you have like actual power levels, and they level up and things like that. I think it's just kind of like that gaming mentality, isn't it? You get stronger and your strength stat will go up and things like that. And then when you work into comic books and anime and TV shows and stuff, it's kind of hard to keep track of them. It's like in Dragon Ball Z, if you think about it, like when they're in like the final saga, if you compare their power level to when they first started at the beginning, it's like they're really, really weak. It's like they're pathetically weak compared to what they're like at the end. It's like, but when they're really strong there, it's like, oh my god, they're really strong. And then by the end, it's like they're 20 times stronger than that. It's like, oh, they're not that strong, I guess. So I saw a website and I checked like the different power levels, and I think Hercule, even though he's like Mockery at the end, is more powerful than Goku was at the beginning of Dragon Ball. Yeah. So when right at the beginning, after he's training with Kami, Hercule actually ends up being more powerful than that. They like take the piss out of him, and he's kind of like the comic relief. So we've given away the black materia. So after all that, we just handed it to him.
What are you doing?
We're gonna. He's got control over him, isn't he? He's got his powers.
Tell me, Tifa.
What's Nanaki doing at the top there? Just faffing around.
Don't think he can get down, despite we got down.
Yeah, but he doesn't have like thumbs.
True, I mean he'd probably land on his feet.
Paws, yeah. Ooh. Oh, he's hitting her.
What? What?
Oh, looks like him at a bad time. Yeah, shut up, Reeve. Nobody likes you. I'm Reeve number 2. Pleased to meet you all. Shut up, he's beating on Tifa.
What the heck? What is he doing? I forgot. Totally
Tifa,
didn't.
you alright? What? Get off. Let's start slapping her around.
What? I totally didn't remember that happening.
Do you not remember that?
No.
Because like, he's being controlled by Sephiroth, isn't he?
I remember all the wigging out, but I didn't.
Oh, it's all gone white now. It's all a dream.
Don't worry about it. It was the Stella.
Don't know if that's the best idea. He's leaving us.
No.
Don't go.
Bye. I can't control my
Is
breakdowns.
this actually her communicating with Zack, do you think, or is this just Zack's dream?
It's her communicating with
She's
Zack.
communicating with him through dreams.
Yeah.
She can do that now as well.
It's like subconscious type thing, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it must be real because you actually go to this woods, don't you?
Yeah.
This forest leads to the city of the ancients called the Sleeping Forest.
Hmm.
Now that is actually how Sleeping Forest looks, so you can go there and after the dream, so that means it must be her. She's going to try and protect it. Why can't we come with you? God.
The secret's just up here.
What do you think's going to happen? Oh, okay, she's dealing with it now. It's fine. It's going.
Yeah, let's go back to.
Should we go back to reactor
Sector.
3 and blow up?
Yeah.
We're going to finish blowing up the reactors. We only did 2, so we need to do another few.
Yeah, let's go back to Sector 5. Wait. No.
What if Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge hadn't have died, but they'd not come with us? And at the end of the game, you return to Midgar and they've destroyed all of the other reactors while we're all gone. And then they could bring out a whole different side game, which is like what happens to Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge while you're gone. And it's just mission after mission of like reactor mission of blowing stuff up.
That'd be boring though in a way, because all the reactors are based like
They all
look
have
exactly the same.
layout, yeah, that's true. Maybe you'd have missions in between to get the door codes and stuff and get parts of the explosives. Different mini games. And each one ended with a reactor mission. Uh-oh.
Yeah, in the end, they're just like in the middle in the giant Shinra building on the top going, yeah, we're king. Because everyone else has been blown up.
Yeah. But sadly, no, they all died. It didn't happen. Oh, Jesse, Biggs and Wedge. Pretty sure, I said to you, didn't I, that Biggs and Wedge like, are recurring names.
Yeah.
I think it's in
Are they
8, there's
Final
2,
Fantasies?
there's like a guard and then like a captain. Like, you know, you get like the blue Shinra guards and then the red Shinra guards.
Yeah.
It's not Shinra, it's other like militia, but there's like a blue soldier and a red soldier. And I think one of them's called Biggs and one of them's called Wedge.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Biggs and Wedge. I think you can get them as cards.
Really?
In the card game, yeah, there's a Biggs and Wedge card with the card game.
Awesome.
It's just namesakes, they're different characters.
Yeah, yeah.
It's weird how they've done it with the namesakes. Like, there's always someone called Sid, and they always fly an airship. and then you get.
I was gonna say, I wonder what game they introduced all these names. Was it in the first one?
No, you can watch like the history of Final Fantasy, and it shows you. There's a really good video that shows like all the different Final Fantasy games, what was introduced in each one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really good actually. It's quite an interesting video. I watched it when I was doing my final year project at uni. I was doing a game. It was like a similar to Final Fantasy type thing, like an RPG. And like my written side of it was kind of basically like a review of the history of gaming and things like that. So I basically talked about like the history of Final Fantasy and things like that, and like what the first games were and how they, you know, what the reaction to them was when they came out and that sort of thing. And I talked about like different console wars and things like that. And one of the videos I watched for when I was doing research was like history of Final Fantasy 7 or history of Final Fantasy video, and it shows you like what happens in each game.
Oh,
And it's really good. So like 7 was the first like really popular one over here, because it's like it was a big jump in graphics and stuff, and a big jump in like world size and everything. This is quite a groundbreaking game really at the time, just in sheer size. This is like a time when the longest game was things like Sonic the Hedgehog, which you could complete in one sitting, and then you get a game like this would probably take you like a couple of months to do at best. I think if you skipped a lot of the side missions and the side quests and just went for completing the game, you could probably do it in like 24 hours.
Yeah.
I reckon. If you did it properly, I would say it's more like 35 to 40.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty decent sized game. Even now, if I bought a game now and it took me 40 hours to complete it, I would be happy that I got a lot out of that game. Sometimes I find games now do tend to drag on too long, and then they just become bloated. It's like, oh, I just want it to end now. And then they'll bring up DLC, and it's like, God damn it.
Oh, yeah.
More to do.
Or they'll cut the game short and then bring out DLC for what should have been on there.
That's a bit annoying. You shouldn't do that. It's cheeky. Too cheeky. I mean, I think now there's so many games coming out. Games come out faster than I can actually complete them. So I'm a bit behind. I'm still playing Assassin's Creed 3 at the moment, and they're like hyping up the next one.
Yeah.
So back to the tiny Bronco.
Yeah.
Where do we need to go now? So you've just got Sephiroth's now got the Blackwood here, hasn't he? So we need to go to the Forest of the Ancients.
Yeah, we need to get to the City of the... Is it City of the Ancients?
Yeah, City of the Ancients, which is through the Forest of the Ancients.
The Sleeping Forest.
Oh yeah, sorry, not the Forest of the Ancients, Sleeping Forest.
Forest of the Ancients. Oh no, wait, sorry. Sleeping Forest.
The Sleeping Forest. Okay, so you have to go all the way around this stuff in the tiny Bronco. Oh, that's a dead end. At this point, you can actually go back to Fort Condor and like do more battles in Fort Condor. That's the thing with like free roaming games. I think this is the case kind of in. I found this is the same in Assassin's Creed. There's all the other stuff you can do. So you can go off and do different things. But I'm thinking like if you just had a cutscene or something like, oh, so-and-so's been kidnapped, you must rush there and like save them straight away. It's like, okay, but before I do that, I'm going to go back to this place, check the thing, see if that's increased anymore.
Sleep at the inn.
Yeah, so you can go around the forest, like hunting animals, do a couple of side missions, then I'll go do the storyline, which is saving the person from kidnapping. It's like, that wouldn't happen. It needs to have some nice moments where it's kind of like, oh, everything's fine now, come see me when you're ready or something.
Yeah.
And then that's the time when you go off and do stuff.
It looks like there's like two waves that are constantly chasing us.
No, that's the the Riptide. Are we going through the water? That's coming up behind us. Not going through the rock face bit there. I mean, no wonder this plane crashed. He was driving the damn thing. We just kind of used it as a glider. Just jump on its back and hope for the best. There we go, there's the Bone Village. The Bone Village. Gotta get the Luna Hop. There's lots of imagery here. You get the sleeping forest, and you have to wake up the forest in a sense by playing the instrument. I tell you what was a weird ending to a game. Do you ever finish, what is it called? It was a Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, I think it's called. It's on the Game Boy.
Oh no, I didn't play the game.
It was really weird, right? You're on this island,
Yeah.
and you meet people. I think there's a woman on the island that looks like Zelda, but it's not Zelda. It's just like some
Right.
woman that lives in the town.
Yeah.
So when you first meet her, you start calling her Zelda, and then she's like, "I'm not Zelda. I'm someone else."
Yeah.
And then there's like a whole village, and there's people in the village, and you do stuff for. And there's basically all these different temples, and each temple you get like an instrument from. And the idea is that you have to go around getting all the instruments. And once you get all the instruments, you wake up the windfish. But it turns out the windfish is asleep, and the whole island is the windfish's dream. And when the windfish wakes up, Link's back to just like being on his own on like a plank of wood floating in the ocean. So he just destroys the entire island and everyone on it just to get off, because everyone is just the dream of the windfish. So that's kind of a bit of a bad ending for a hero. It's like, oh, you saved the day by killing us all. None of us are real.
Yeah.
Mind fuck.
Yeah. Oh. So, I guess what you were knocked out on a piece of wood.
Yeah,
floating in the ocean.
you're on a boat, and then like the boat crashes. You wake up on the beach, and then that's the beginning of the game. And as you play through the game, you're trying to get off the island, and you find out there's the windfish, and the windfish is asleep. And then you find out that everyone on the island is just the dream of the windfish. But then you get the windfish to wake up, and then everyone just disappears.
Then what happens with the windfish?
Wakes up, just goes off somewhere else.
Oh, you
Just
just
like a big entity,
Oh.
like a space fish.
Oh, damn.
It's really weird. I was kind of like, is that a good ending or not? You kind of like all the people on the island that you met and like helped out with your little side missions. And it's like, oh, can you help me? If you help me, I'll give you this item. And you exchange this item for something else. And then you like essentially kill them all. It's pretty harsh. Right, so this is the moment, as you see, we planted all the different searches. We generally put a lot of people out, so you have to kind of go to the point where they're all looking, and that's where you tell them to dig. It might take you a few attempts, so you can always go outside and save it beforehand, I guess. And then you can come in, and then you can like use all the money you want then to do one search, and then that'll be enough. And then you get the Lunar Harp. There are some other cool items you can get from there, actually. You can keep doing as many times as you want. And they look for treasure. And then you just like hire them to stand there and point out where it is. Kind of a flawed system for if it was actually a dig site. And it's just like, we're going to look in the direction of where you're supposed to dig, and then you can see if you find it. Can you just show me where it was?
But you all know, but you don't.
Oh, we're now in the Sleeping Forest. As seen in the dream sequence. The Sleeping Forest awoke!
Oh, the Emerald Dreams.
And there's a bit of materia flying around here.
Ori?
Yeah, you will see in a minute it kind of moves around.
There it is.
There it is. Oh. Yeah, Kajata.
Yeah. We didn't really use Kajata much.
Nah, Kajata's a bit lame compared to some of the others. It's kind of cool. It does all of the elements. So there's fire, ice, earth damage and stuff, and lightning.
Yeah.
But then it's actually not that powerful compared to things like Bahamut and Leviathan, which you've got at this stage.
Yeah.
And stuff like, if you've got Leviathan and Bahamut, why bother with Kajata?
Yeah. Was Kajata the one where it was like summon a giant cauldron?
No, that's Hades. Hades is pretty cool. Hades does all status ailments.
Ah, that's the one, all stages.
Yeah, which you can do with bad breath anyway as well. But it does damage on its own anyway, so it's kind of cool. I think the only time we really used Hades much was when we were doing it against Ruby Weapon.
Yes.
To try and like stun it and stuff. Yeah, Hades is pretty cool. We like Hades.
Oh.
Yeah, Kajata was the one which starts off, I think there's like all that lightning around them, and then the lightning bolts like come off and then turns to ice, and then it just traps them in ice, and then that explodes and there's little fire bits go everywhere, and then like the big like bull thing turns up and like stomps in the ground and the ground wobbles for earth damage, and then that's the end. So it kind of like does all the different elements and then damages you.
Oh, okay.
So here we are at the lost city of the ancients. It's quite a cool little area. Again, they call this a city, and I think it's like 4 houses. Obviously, there's no one in it because it's the city of the ancients. There's no one here.
Was this all underwater?
No.
So it looks like, I mean, there's coral everywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just like a dried up place, and like there's sand and stuff on the floor. And
Yeah, I guess so. Part of its whimsicalness, I guess. There's a weird little balls
shiny
of
thing?
light.
No.
No. Chinese!
Wow, giant piece of material.
So that's a house there. You come back here a few times, don't you? Because this is kind of where a lot of stuff happens. This is quite an important place in terms of the different game locations. So what do we have here? Some little weird crystal thing.
Oh, we can't do anything with it.
No, I don't think we can really do anything just yet.
What's in that box down there?
You have to go down and get it, I guess. How do you get down to that bit? Can you go under there? No. You must have to get in there from a different angle. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, it goes down there. I'm not sure. Maybe you go. Oh, no, there's steps. There we go. There it is.
Yeah.
This item better be worth it. Better not be a potion or something lame. Oh, Aurora Armlet. That'll do quite nicely. Some
It's no
sort of,
ribbon, but it's
armour.
no potion either.
Well, it's a piece of armour, which is always helpful. I kind of like it in games like this when you get armour and weapons and stuff and it actually appears on your character. I think that's
Yeah,
a
I
lot
really
more
like
effort.
that.
It's like in this, your weapons do look different, so I'll give them that. But
Yeah.
they could have done something with the armour as well. Like I really like it in games where, like, okay, I'm going to give this person all the leather armour, and you see them wearing it. And if you change all the leather armour out for like iron armour, you see them wearing that.
I mean,
It just kind of looks cool. The only problem with that, though, I will say, is when there's games that have that sort of thing, like in specifically in Tekken 6, when you had all the different items would give you different powers, you would either look cool and have all your cool items, or look ridiculous and have all the power-ups you wanted, and that was really frustrating. So I think when it comes to that sort of thing, you should have the item and like empty slots, and then you get things that you can make the items do. So you can wear whatever you want to look, however you want to look, and then apply all the different power-ups to it, to the items, rather than like having really cool power-ups and rubbish-looking items. It's like you end up playing with King with like a pink leopard mask and then a cowboy hat, and it'll just look ridiculous, and everyone just looks silly.
some games have like multiple ways to like combat that. I mean, stuff like Forsaken World, you've got two kind of like styles, I think they call it.
Yeah.
Where one's like all your gear, like with the item like strength and all that kind of stuff on, but you could change how you look by choosing the other style, which is like a costume type thing. So you could make it look like so that you look really cool, but you'll still be wearing the other stuff kind of like underneath.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Or in World of Warcraft, which I think for that exact reason of like you look really stupid in some of the new armor sets.
You're right.
But you want to like have the original tier 1, whereas now you're in like tier 15, which is obviously much better.
Yeah.
But you want to look like tier 1, so you just go into, if you've got that piece of gear already, you just go to a transmogrifier, and you change the look of your current piece to the piece of whatever you want.
Okay, oh, that's pretty cool. That kind of gets around it then.
Yeah. So it will still, when you hover over it and look at the actual like tooltip, it will still show what you're actually wearing, but it will say transmogged to look like blah blah blah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that idea. I do most of the time when you go from like leather armour to iron armour to golden armour, whatever, it generally does look better the higher up it goes.
Yeah.
So it's not normally a problem, but in some games, sometimes like oh, this armour's much better stats, but it looks lame.
Or like, I really want to look like a farmer, yet in my giant plate mail gear, that I can't do that.
Well, one thing that's weird actually, I always thought it was in like Skyrim and stuff, it'd be interesting if the characters reacted more to what you looked like and what you wore. So if you walk into a town like full Daedric armour, people will probably be quite nervous around you, like think that you're like a monster. Whereas if you then like change your clothes to be like just wearing normal shirt and trousers, or like wearing like the ruffled shirts for like poshness, people like speak to you better.
Yeah.
Maybe like people in shops would be like, oh, take what you want and get out. Or they'd be like, oh, please come and stay with us, have some ale. And they like change how they react to you based on what you're wearing.
I mean, isn't there like diamond armour that looks like glass type thing? So you look like
it's glass armor.
really shiny.
Well, we're coming to the end of this episode now of Insert Coin. We hope to see you in the next one. I really hope that nothing dramatic and or depressing happens in the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because that would be sad.
It would be very sad.
But we can only find out by watching it again. So please join us next time.
Thank you.